For the average person who may know nothing of your illustrious accomplishments over the years, could you just, in a brief way, shed some light into Cubie Seegobin and his sports management and what he has done so far in life of business?
Well, I was born here. I left in 1969 to attend school in America. I was fortunate to do that. I went off to school to do, I did my high school diploma, and then I went off to university to do, I was going to study politics and sociology. End up having a roommate that was in athletics, and my life changed. A Jamaican roommate, and I did my BA in communications and my MBA in business management. And then I worked for Puma International from 1978 to 1986. And then after that, when the company went public and the banks took the company, it changed. So I left and I started my own company, which is Cubie Management now. And I manage exclusively. When I was at Puma, I did all sports and all athletes. Now I manage exclusively just Olympic athletes, track and field. But I did major contracts in other sports when I was at Puma.
Could you shed some light in terms of some of the the Olympic athletes you would have managed, or still do manage as well?
Well, the recent famous one, of course, is Johan Blake. But I did Butch Reynolds before. I did Benita Fitzgerald, Evelyn Ashford, Ronaldo Nehemiah. There's so many I forgot, man. But many Olympic, Andre Phillips, Olympic champions, world record holders, world champions. Right now I have Antonio Watson, who is the current 400-meter world champion from Jamaica. I have Rashawn Clark, who's a young 20-year-old 400-meter hurdler. I have many of the young budding stars now, not too many old ones anymore. I'm doing.
Yeah. How important is that, having someone with a lot of expertise, a lot of knowledge, being, I guess, your overarching manager as you begin to push yourself in a professional track and field environment?
Well, it's important to have somebody that can help you to navigate the dangerous waters. But it's very difficult for me, in a sense, because the young athletes are in a different environment than I'm used to. The social media phenomenon has changed a lot of things, and you have a lot of athletes, younger athletes in other younger athletes' ear, and it's a lot of misleading information, a lot of disinformation and misinformation. And it's hard for a young athlete, a 17-year-old or 18-year-old, to decipher what is really true and what isn't true, and making major decisions in their lives. And somebody who's older than me, you come in and you try to help them, but it becomes like, hey, who's this old guy trying to tell me, what is new? I'm going through that right now with a few people,
Yeah.
And it's like telling a kid, don't put your hand in the fire, you can get burned. But unless they do that and they get burned, they're not going to believe you. They're always going to believe that you're just trying to tell them to do something that's not there.
And one of the athletes, I know you would have taken a lead role in them signing a big deal, the first of its kind, that NIL deal, Tiana Springer.
Right.
Just talk us about, how that came about, and I guess the interest that you begin to, peek into Guyana's growing track and field repertoire.
Well, it's kind of funny, and you're not going to believe this, but I met Tiana Springer and her parents for the first time at the airport when I came here. I had seen Tiana on TV, and my association with the federation, and one other famous athlete from Guyana, Rayfield Beaton, and I had been communicating with her mother and father, by messaging or phone and everything. But I saw her on TV, and I went to Adidas and I said, just out of the curious, I said, hey, there's this girl from Guyana. I think you need to sign her. And in doing the deal, I did the one for the twins too from Trinidad, the Frederick girls, and Brianna Liston, the famous Jamaican sprinter who I had from high school. So I did 4 NIL deals. And I included, when I spoke to them without managing a permission. I spoke to them about in Guyana. I think you guys need to sign her now. From now, she's going to be great. And they went along with it because of my, my repetition and my knowledge. And they signed her. I did the deal. I did all the negotiations for her, and I sent to the parents, and they trusted me, and I signed her.
Yeah. Well, tell me something though about that aspect. You saw her on television. You went to them and said, "Look, she's going to be great in the future." What's it? What's the eye then? The spotting talent. What is it that makes you know that this person potentially could go on to do something great?
Well, I looked at her background, but the thing about Tiana is, for her age, she's very mature in her competitions. She competes very well. For her age, for a 16-year-old to compete that way, she's not one of these 16-year-olds that just get out there and run. It seems like she thinks through her races, and that was impressive, the way she handled herself even in the Crifta games last year. I mean, she executed incredibly well, and she isn't scared, to run. A lot of kids at her age are scared to run, and a lot of other Guyanese, that are her age, and she's not a lot of hype. She's just a basic, from what I see, and and seeing her interviews and stuff, she's just a basic, down to earth kind of kid, unlike many other Guyanese that are braggadocious in some ways.
Yeah, but Tiana is just part and parcel of a really good core of young athletes that are building in Guyana. I guess in that regards, probably more deals could be on the way. What's in store?
Well, exactly. There's you hit it on the nail on the head. There's a bunch of young athletes coming, and that's who we're trying to harness and help make good decisions. The young sprinter out of New York, Hinkson, is that her name?
Oh, Talia Hinkson.
Yes. I mean, we're trying to help her. I mean, she's going to go to a good university in America. And I haven't made direct contact with a lot of them. Rayfield has. He's a athlete kind of person, I just get involved in the business and helping them, whether it's a contract, whether it's some stuff. I helped Archibald with his deal with Adidas too, and so did Leah Abrams. I helped her too. So 3 athletes already I did help with deals, pro bono, nothing for myself. I want to make that clear. Pro bono, I did it because they're Guyanese, and I wanted to help them. And we're doing a lot of guidance and nurturing of the other youngs. The young core, like you said, we're just kind of locking in and trying to guide them and keep them away from all the noise from other people a lot of people say things, but they don't know things. And everybody wants to think that they're an expert, but they're not an expert. And that was killed some of our former athletes from Guyana, Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
But in terms of, given what you just mentioned, there's such a fabulous score. There's also some seniors. Is it something probably that you can, broker or probably lead the AAG into, and probably having that kind of sponsorship for the entire body?
Well, my main objective is helping the athletes first and foremost, and then helping the federation. The federation have many problems which they need to sort out themselves. But as I said, I've been saying here, the issues in Guyana is not unique to only Guyana. It's unique to the whole region, except some other people, it's hidden more because of their success. Guyana issues are exposed more so because of the non-success, which they can also have. But, growing up in Guyana and watching here, I think there's a sense of entitlement. People think they're entitled to things, and there should be in things for the rest of their lives. What they need here, you need structure and you need policies. And you need this friend thing to stop. And you need to, the ministry has to get involved initially now. Because they control the purse strings, and a lot of the federations, not only in Guyana, they say we're independent, but when the stuff hit the fan, they got to run to the government and say, can you help us? It's exactly what happened in Bahamas. when the issue, the government had to get involved to bring the Guyanese back home and stuff, you know. So they need to, you know, you need people, they need to really seriously sit down and form a structure and form policies and run it. It's no longer sport, you know. It's a business. So you need business administrators. You don't need sports administrators.
Yeah.
We have many of those. Sport is a business now, a big business. It's $1 billion business. So you need people who understand administration and business administration, not sports administration. We have many, you and I can be sports administrators. You know, you need people with business background who is gonna do things, you know, and bring deals to the table. I mean, if I was living in Guyana, I mean, it's a no-brainer for me.
But do you believe if the AAG certainly gets their house in order, and we have seen, I guess, in the last couple of weeks, a lot of dirty laundry, as you would say, has been aired.
In the last couple of days.
If they do get it in order, there is potential that some big deals
Very
could come
much
Guyana's
so.
way.
Oh, very much so. You got to remember, everybody's. You walk around where we are right now. Everybody's coming to Guyana because of our oil. They used to come because of our bauxite, because of our diamonds, because of our gold, because of our sugar. You know, I mean, this place is a whole different place than I know it, even from '97. It's a whole different place. Yeah. If you make the right connections, I heard the president of the country is very open to discussion about all things, including sport. I mean, and I think he would support sport from what I understand. And the minister of sport, who I met yesterday, you know, he's very open to ideas and stuff. You know, the world has changed. You have to be progressive. I mean, there are people who should come after me now and carry the baton. You know, we stand on the shoulders of everybody, great people, you know. You stand on the shoulder of great sportscasters or news people before you. I do. But I would like to see people come and stand on my shoulder and move on and become better and bigger than me.
Yeah, but I must ask, though, I know your center is on track and field, but in the past you spoke about sport as a business. I've seen a brand that you promote a lot now get itself involved into a growing aspect of cricket with the Indian cricket team. This is part of the Indian cricket team as well. Is it something as well you're probably looking into in Guyana that outside of track and field, probably other sports could?
Well, because of my contacts, a lot of people come to me with other sports, which I know other sports. Mm-hmm. It's just athletics has become so easy for me. I mean, I did NFL, I did basketball, NBA. I did all the sports when I was at Puma. I learned, you know, I did a lot of contracts for famous athletes. I know a lot of famous athletes. I know a lot of contacts. You know, I have contacts. So I can go to the CEO of Adidas or the vice president and says, hey, you know, Akeem is a good guy, or he's running this football team. I mean, da-da-da-da. I mean, again, it's about business. Adidas is $1 billion company, an $18 billion company. You think they went to cricket because they love cricket? Because they can sell and make money. The same thing with the Reggae Boys. The Reggae Boys didn't win in nothing, but everybody wants a Reggae Boy shirt. And the Jamaicans, everybody buys a shirt. It's like, you know, so it's business. It's business. Of course, they sign athletes, and they're probably on the bridge of being the #1 company now in the world, overtaking Nike, because they have a new CEO that is very bright and very aggressive, you know. Yeah, it's business.
Is there any advice you would want to give to athletes, to coaches, about how they can begin to prepare for that life ahead?
Come into the present world, man. They live in the past. They're, as I say, they're cocoon. They haven't had the exposure to know what is going on in the world. And you know, we all have an opinion. Everybody has an opinion, but we're not entitled to the facts. You know, you have to have the facts, you have to have the expertise to be able to making good decisions and guiding people. That's one of the things I want to do. I'm not here to change anybody or do anything. If you sit with me, Akeem, and you say, hey, Cubie, what is, I'll give you my opinion. You take it or you leave it. You know, it's free. My advice is free, and my reputation and the stuff I've done is there for you to see. You can do the template, I mean, and go with it, but it's up to you. I mean, you can only take a horse to the trough. You can't force them to drink, you know. And But we have to get out of this cocoon business, and we have to open our minds and stop guarding our little piece of the pie, you know? Everybody's holding on to their piece of the pie and they think they know everything, you know? Knowledge comes from experience, you know? And being able to have an open mindset that the world has changed, even for me, Akeem.